Are we live? Let's see. I'm not seeing. Oh, who can hear me? If you can hear me, post something in the chat. Y'all can hear me, please let me know. All right. Kevin's in the house. Where is everyone calling from? Where's everyone chatting from? I'm hailing from the great state of Alabama. Where's everyone? Post where everyone's calling from. Where's everyone chatting from? Where are we representing? Where's everyone from? You get people coming in. As you can see, the cat's in the background sleeping. The other cat over here too sleeping. South Bend, pretty sure that's Indiana. Houston's in the house, okay. Houston's in the house, South Bend. Okay, yep, never been to Texas yet, but should be going there at some point. Listen, who's ready for some reviews today? Atlanta's in the house. I will be in Atlanta this year in December. Memphis is in the house. Okay, all right. All right. I have not seen anyone from any other countries. All right, is all US party today? Okay, we usually got, we're usually worldwide. I guess we're just nationwide today. That's fine. Okay. Who's ready for some reviews? Who's ready for some reviews? I didn't do much promotion for this one this time, but we still got a bunch. Wait till hurricane season passes. In Houston? Oh, I didn't know y'all really dealt with the hurricanes over there. Okay. Well, then never mind. I ain't going over there. Well, there's tornadoes here. So, I don't know. I feel like, I guess every place has something. There's tornadoes here, which I found odd because I'm like, oh, I thought, this area of Alabama will be similar to Atlanta because I don't think Atlanta has tornadoes. I've never experienced tornadoes before. So, okay, all right. I hope everyone's having a great Friday. We're gonna get some good old reviews going. June to November. Oh, that's too long. That's too long. All right. So most people wanted a LinkedIn. Let's see. Maybe we'll start with the LinkedIn review today. Start with the LinkedIn review. I like to do these kind of raw, but I like to give my raw like first look opinion. I don't want to be reviewing too much because it's best to get the initial thought or the initial idea. All right. I hope for those who were here last week, I hope folks took notes and implemented changes to y'all's LinkedIn's and portfolios. I hope so. Okay, let's see. Let's go with. Nope. Nope. All right. We got one. And let's share the screen. All right, Connecticut's in the building. Nice. I've been to Connecticut before. All right, I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Okay, starting off with a LinkedIn review. Okay, if anyone was here last week, you should kind of have an idea of probably what I'm going to start off and say. I'm going to scroll in a bit. So the very first, our very first, introduction or first, first impression is whatever we see before scrolling down, right? And remember, right, on average, people take about 15 seconds to look on your LinkedIn page, right? And who remembers what about half of that is spent on one area? Does anybody remember out of the 15 seconds on average that people spend on LinkedIn profiles, what is that one area where half of it is spent on single-handedly? Does anybody remember from last week? If anyone was here from last week, who remembers where 7 seconds is spent on our profiles? Who remembers, or who wants to guess? If you weren't here, who wants to guess? 15 seconds people spend on average, and half of that is on one specific part, one specific area. Header picture, you're getting warm. If you're saying header meaning the headline, you're getting warm, but not quite. It is up here though. But we spend about, half of it. Yeah, Joakim got it. The banner. And I know on top you're like, folks are like, what? The banner. You're like, the banner? The banner. Look at all this. Think about it. Look at all this real estate the banner takes up. And most of us we don't really take it seriously. Sometimes we'll just post, we'll have either nothing there, or, we'll use, one of LinkedIn's, templates. But your banner should amplify your brand. Your banner should amplify who you are and your brand, right? So avoid anything generic, right? So again, I like to use, so this week, I like to use a different student of mine each week. Last time we used Hakeem, but this week we're gonna highlight Grace. So, throughout this time, we're gonna constantly, reference, a good profile and look at Grace. When we talk about the banner, what's the first, what are the big stark differences between this banner than Lily's banner, right? Grace's banner amplifies her brand, right? It has her name. It says product data analyst, data-driven problem solver, improving products with user insights. That amplifies her brand. And then she has her email here, and then just a couple little things over here. But that's not it. It's not a lot of clutter, right? It amplifies her brand, and it's simple. The thing like this, it doesn't. It's generic. It doesn't amplify your brand. It's just, it's just like I don't know if anyone. I remember my very first laptop in college. It was an Ultrabook, and this was over 10 years ago. I had it, squished in between my two textbooks, in my book bag. And then I opened it and the screen was all messed up, right? This kind of reminds me of that. But again, random story, but it doesn't amplify the brand. So very simple, one color, background, name, target role, and then maybe couple, tools or your skills that you're really good at. But your banner needs to amplify your brand. Things that are generic, any of the generic templates that LinkedIn has, just avoid it. Just go to Canva. Canva has everything. Canva has the banners. So again, banner needs to amplify your brand. It just shouldn't just be something random, right? How do you change the banner in Canva? We'll do that for a little bit. We'll go into that for a little bit, Jordan. 1 second. All right. So Banner, right? We talked about the banner. All right, headshot, profile. You know what? My first thoughts when I'm looking at this, I don't know why it's giving red carpet pose. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like red carpet pose, like a model red carpet pose. When you talk about data professional, I don't know if I'm not sure if it really aligns or hits. So I would, in terms, I would, want something, or I would kind of suggest something kind of, because this looks like, a snippet of on the red carpet and you're just zoomed in. I would say that it's good that you got the face, the shoulder, chest, and everything, but just something like a regular, like actually sit in front of a camera and take like a photo and actually like face, like it's just giving like red carpet pose. Glamour shot, Kevin. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, glamour shot. That's what it's giving. It's giving glamour shot. It's giving like, if this was, talking of, like, like actors, like struggling actors and models or whatever, they have portfolios, right? It's very similar to what we're doing, but this is giving, this is for like, if I was like a modeling scout or acting scout, this would be perfect. But, when it comes down to like a professional headshot for a data professional, I would say it's a little misaligned there. Okay. Lily, data professional, very simple, straight to the point, but it's always nice to have, right? You could say data professional, but it's good to have a little extra, right? It's good to have, what you do, like a good, like positioning statement, or kind of like a positioning statement, uncovering product insights and driving improvements for 150 million users, something like that. It's good to have that type of stuff. At bare minimum, you want to have like data professional. It's good to have like some sort of positioning statement. And then you can have, the tools like, hey, data store, Excel, SQL, Python, all that stuff. At minimum, that's pretty good just to get found or whatever, whenever, recruiters search. But this is definitely, I would definitely say you can add more, right? You can definitely add more to it. All right, San Diego, nice, nice. All right, the about section. So our about section is basically like our elevator pitch, and so to speak. Data-driven professional, decade of experience, real estate industry, licensed real estate. See all this stuff right here. This gotta be, you gotta say all that stuff here. Like you got experience in real estate. Put that in here. That needs to go up there. So already underselling. So far, this profile is underselling, the experience. Sales, contracts, negotiations. This is really good. This is business type of language here. Transitioning to the data field, recently completed. So this is what I don't like this. Recently completed. Here's the thing. These certificates, they don't, to me, it's really positioning yourself as entry level. And when you have experience in real estate and you're leveraging that experience, right? We don't want to position ourselves as entry level. And briefly, I just posted a video on YouTube today about that. Okay, go watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But when you say like, hey, just recently completed, the IBM certificate, or the Google Data Analytics certificate, it just really comes off as entry level. What you can now, if it's something like, I have the AWS certificate, the certifications where you have to like, pay and it's more harder. That's fine. You can kind of list those there, but don't say this. When you say you're gaining hands-on, it's coming across like you're still learning, right? You're still learning. You're not necessarily ready to. You're still learning, pretty much. All right. Featured. Okay, I do like how you're utilizing your feature. This is good. And let me see if you wanted your portfolio reviewed. Okay, you wanted your portfolio reviewed, so we'll take a look at that in a second. I would say already, if you have a portfolio, utilize that link here in the header. But all right, so I like how you have your feature section utilized. I like that you have activity. Nice. All right, career transition. Okay, so like I say, you got a lot of experience, and it's not coming through. The worst thing we do as career changers, we ignore our experience and just position ourselves as entry level and just say, hey, we're just learning X, Y, and Z, and act like our experience doesn't matter. But it's underselling, but otherwise, all right. When it comes down to, okay, I like how you have it bulleted kind of here. I'd say at bare minimum, you want your experience to, again, at minimum, just copy and paste whatever's on your resume. Um, and I would say you definitely need more, impact, like quantitative impacts, okay. How much have you closed, percentage and things like that, stuff like that. Um, I would say this, for example, should be, don't do like one block of paragraph. It's hard to read. If you want your, just in case people ask again, yeah, if you want your portfolio reviewed, you have to, I'm going to paste it again in the comments. You got to submit it in the Google form. I posted it in the LinkedIn comments, and I will post them again in the YouTube comments. If you want your thing reviewed, post them or submit in that form, and we'll get to it. We're here every week, so we're here every week. Okay, nice. Okay, all right. So let's look at these. Let's look at what we got here. All right, capstone. All right, so it looks like we have a very, very long, um, slide deck here. I will say it's good that it went to something where I can just look at it, which is nice. I would definitely say it would be nice if it's less, because like I said, I'm not gonna look at all 26, and it would be nice if it's, something I can, yeah. So let's see if do you have any dashboards or anything? Yeah, you have dashboards here. So let's look. Okay, let me look at let me make sure. Okay, so, um, okay. All right. So when it comes down to a dashboard, there's multiple. So one of the things when we're first learning, like, okay, obviously we know how to get around Tableau. The next level is we need to understand dashboard design, dashboard layouts, right? We need to graduate from, a canvas of just charts where it seems like there's no story to, again, if anyone's posting their like LinkedIn's, I'm not going to review it. Make sure I'm not sure if you're posting your LinkedIn's to, to connect. Definitely connect with people here, network. But again, if you want your LinkedIn or anything reviewed, submit on the Google form. I'm not going to just go by comments. But again, sorry about that. Like when it comes down to dashboards, like this, is this a dashboard? No, this is like a canvas of just charts. There's really no story here. It's so this is where we need to. So you want to graduate to, again, let me see. It's a good person to check. Let's go to Melissa, for example. So, for example, I have my students do, multiple things, but we have an internship where they actually use, um, real marketing data, and they do like a consulting thing with me. So this is a dashboard. Like you got your title, you got KPIs at the top, it has a story. So you see the difference. It's not just a canvas with just a bunch of charts slapped on it, right? So we want to, again, once we learn how to navigate Tableau, we learn how to make charts, we want to graduate to, okay, how do we design a cohesive dashboard that tells a story, that, reduce clutter. So there, multiple things like that. So like, for example, this is, they probably, most likely probably don't even need all these filters. So again, I would say, next step up to get to dashboard design, layouts, and then also there's also, it looks like there's, a few opportunities to remove some clutter. But okay, so and quickly, I'll say this. There's really two types of projects. There's projects that we use to practice and learn, and there's projects that we use to, what do you call it? Projects for showcasing. Showcasing is like this, right? Showcasing is like the Olympics, right? Showcasing is, this is what we want to show. We are ready to get hired. When we're just first learning, right? When we're first learning and, it obviously looks like we're learning, we got, that's not stuff to showcase, right? We can definitely document it. But what I find is that there's a lot of people who aren't really aware that, the projects that they have is just not necessarily up to snuff yet for like a legitimate like portfolio project. I hope I'm making sense. I've talked about this in a few videos. Like, I'm pretty sure like Melissa has plenty of projects or dashboards in the past that kind of looks random all over the place, but that's not something that's published. That's not the Olympics, right? So that's just something there. So just to keep in mind. Okay. Let's see. Let me check the chat. What do we got here? Let me check the chat. Anyone got any thoughts? Any thoughts in the chat? Anything they want to add? What do they think? Anything they want to add? What do they think of? What do they think? Anything they want to add or nothing? Let me know. But I do like that you got activity, so you're a real person, and you got a featured. You're utilizing your featured section, which is great. Overall, you're definitely underselling your experience. Other than that, all right. So while that's there, I'm gonna try to find something else for the next one. I think I did download these the other day. I feel like I found one. Until I found the next one, if you guys have anything to add. All right. Next one. This was what I was trying to find the other day. Okay, this is what I was trying to find. All right. Okay, so first glance, again, banner. I like the colors, but at the same time, is it like what is Test Fix? Is this a company that you work at? I don't know. But again, does this banner amplify your brand? Well, it says so. Okay, I see that. I forgot. I didn't notice that. This should be bigger, I would say. So here's the thing. Look at what's the largest things in this banner. The name, your name here that I didn't even recognize. I saw this test fix thing. I saw this laptop. I saw everything else before your name, and so again, when we talk about like what should be the biggest or what should be, the biggest things or the first things that you want to focus on, things that amplify your brand. And, the generic laptop, I'm not sure what this is. I can't really tell on your profile, but again, I just always go back to, banners like this: name, target role, skills that you have or you're really, specialize in. So if it's growing, testing, adjusting, so I would make your name larger, right? I would move this. Like this is clutter. Like this doesn't add to anything. So it's really just clutter, and it's just taking up so much space, right? So again, let's graduate from the generic banners and get stuff that amplifies our brand, as simple as name, plain background, and stuff like this. I will go into Canva in a bit, I would say after this, so we can kind of see what we're talking about. But okay, emerging data analysts. To me, that means that you're okay. Emerging data analyst. This could mean that you're still in the learning phase. Post-bac student. Okay, Python. So I like this. This is nice. So it's good to have. Like I said, it's good to have these. It's good. It's good to have post-bac student. So bachelorette student. So already at first glance, you're positioning yourself as a student. So let's see if that's what you are. It's versatile, professional, data analyst, background in clinical trial data management. So where was that here, right? You got this background in data, all this stuff, and where is that up here? I didn't see nothing. So already, again, same as last time, underselling, right? You got, I didn't see this. This needs, like, you gotta have some words in your header. But okay, looks like you are in school. Nice, which is nice. C#, Java, Mongo. All right, fast learner. Looking for part-time opportunities. Okay, so far I'm getting the sense that this is someone in school that's probably looking for an internship at the most. All right, student assistant, computer lab. All right, let's see. I do like that you have bullets. Same thing as last time. Want to see some like impact numbers, which is nice. Avoid block of paragraph text. It's like numbers of like quantitative results. So you have quite a bit of experience. I'm not sure why you're positioning yourself as a student. Okay, I see. Oh, so you already have a bachelor's degree. Okay, so you're in British. Okay, so you are in Canada. So I'm assuming. So you already have a bachelor's degree. So I'm assuming this is like a master's program or something. So even though you're in a master's program, you should not be positioning yourself like you're just learning, like you're like an entry level. You have a lot of experience that you should be talking about. Like all this stuff, you were a lead here, like all this stuff here. It's not really coming out here. It's not really coming out in your branding. It's really branding. Like I said, my initial thought was like, this is like a student in school. And yes, you're in a master's degree program, but it's different if you're like, in your bachelor's degree program or something like that. But when you're in your master's degree program and you have experience, you need to lead with experience. You not lead with, I'm just learning still. You should lead with experience, and then, combine the skills that you're, the analytical skills that you're, that you've already been equipped with. But yeah, underselling your background, I would say. Other than that, I like like I said, I like that you have information or bullets on your experience. I like that you have activity here. Again, there's a lot of bots on LinkedIn now, so it's good to see activity. And then, yeah, I would definitely lead more with your experience more, amplify your experience more. All right, let's see. Okay, someone asked about, oh yeah, she's already here. Okay, nice. Yeah, it's nice if people actually hear live in the chat. But someone asked about Canva, and so let's do that. Let's go to Canva. Let's take a little brief thing and go to Canva. So I can show you guys LinkedIn banners. So I'm just going to look up LinkedIn banners. No. Search for LinkedIn banners. Okay. Let me see if I can go back to the home page. I want to go. LinkedIn background photo. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay. All right. LinkedIn banner. I'm going to search. And we get quite a bit. So again, anything with the, so again, this looks like something that was, so again, LinkedIn has a lot of templates, but, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, let's just take this. I'm going to customize this design. And again, LinkedIn has a bunch of stuff, but here's what we can do. We can focus on this. Let's focus on, I'm just going to use myself right there. Okay, I'm going to remove this. I mean, that's all right, but let's just do something plain and let's just keep this plain thing. I'm going to, let's use Homer Simpson. Let's make this bigger. Let's make this bigger. I don't like this font, so let's say I want to change the font to, Sans or something. Oh, and it's too spaced out. So if I don't like the spacing, I can change the letter spacing so it's not so, yeah. And then, okay, so Homer Simpson, and we can make this bigger a bit too. All right, Homer Simpson, and I'm going to, let's just make a new text. Let's say data analyst. Gonna make that a little bit bigger. Data analyst. Say data analyst. And then you can go data story telling. You can say, process improvement, whatever you gotta. Again, everyone should have like a branding statement or like a positioning statement. There should be certain things that you feel like you kind of specialize in. So let's say process improvement. SQL. So again, even something similar, like so simple as like this. I can move this right, and I can add some more. I can do like Tableau or something. Oh, Tableau. But you just see how simple. I know that I went kind of fast, but that's just how quickly you can just spin something up in Canva. That's better than, some of the generic stuff, right? Simple, right? Name, the, skills that you kind of specialize in, and then you can kind of say the role that you like or role that you want. Then you can put your email too. So it's really that quick, to be honest, super quick. And as long as you don't have any, premium, icons or anything, you can still do it for free. So it's that quick. I know someone asked about Canva. It's that quick, Jordan, if you're the Jordan in the program, you know, if you want me to do a longer video or go over in office hours, let me know. But you know, that's like I said, when it comes to the coming up with stuff in Canva, it's super quick. So you just saw how quickly I just did this. But again, there's plenty of templates to start with. So I would again just, you know, I would avoid, like I said, I would avoid these, you know, again, this just takes up a lot of space. Like I know this is probably it looks decent, but like again, it can take up a lot of space and just something that just focuses on you and amplifies you. So all right, so that's Canva. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. What else is going on? All right. This looks like a portfolio review only. All right. All right. This is different. This is different. Okay. This is a portfolio review. So off the bat, I would do something if you're gonna have your photo here. Well, number one, I like that you have your photo, but I would do something where you're like kind of like LinkedIn, something where you're like facing me, like facing the camera. We can see your face and smiling and things like that. Instead of something where you're looking the way, looking like you're in the middle of something, I would do something where you're like facing the camera. And then I would do something also where it contrasts the background. So again, this doesn't really, the colors don't really contrast. And also, let's see. So your goal is to get a, you know, opportunity in data analytics. This is a typewriter. What the heck does a typewriter have to do with, you know, so same thing, like it's about amplifying the brand. Like what is a typewriter? What does this have to do with anything in terms of you and data analytics, unless you're, you know, you specialize in using you know, doing analysis in your work with a typewriter, you know, that would be new. But again, let's leave these generic backgrounds that really does nothing for us, you know, in 2025. All right, data scientist, building data. So this looks like something like a, you know, nice LinkedIn header. So nice. View projects, get in touch. Okay, that's good. I see it goes to your email. You got about me. You got years of experience. 2 domains specialized. What are those domains? I would rather just see what those domains are, right? Don't leave me guessing here. Just say, you know, yeah, I would. I don't. 4 clients satisfied. All right, you know, low number. So I'm thinking, you know, you're just getting started. All right. Another thought is, who is this for? Like, is this for like, if this looks like maybe something for like freelancing? If this is something that would be geared towards freelancing, I think this real estate could be utilized better. Actually, this is, to me, would be better hire. To be honest. Okay, let me see your projects. All right, it goes here. All right. All right, I'm gonna go to the very first thing that I see. What is this? What am I looking at here? What is this? So this is the first thing that's on. So this is this is your portfolio. This is where I'm coming to. These should be your best projects. Your best projects should be the ones at the top. No one's going to look at everything. So so I'm assuming whatever this is, it looks like, I don't know what this is, but you have it here, and I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not really sure what this is. Loom video. I'm not going to play the Loom video. I'll just go down here. There's nothing to click. Okay. What am I copying here? Okay. It looks like it's just really a photo and some text here. All right. Right. It would be nice to be able to interact with these. It's hard to kind of see. So this is a dashboard and it looks squished. So it looks, it looks kind of hard to see. I would definitely say just looking at it, ain't no way with all, I don't even know exactly, pizza, there's only one KPI. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you could have multiple KPIs up there and have a title. Like, what is this about? This also kind of looks like, even though you got some borders and some colors going on, it also is giving just from the far end, like, slapping on, charts on a canvas. If you had like a title, some more KPIs too, like, and I'm not really understanding the layout here. It's not making sense. Like, it's looking like Tetris to me. Like, it's giving Tetris where in my head, I'm kind of playing Tetris in my mind where I feel like, things could fit better. Okay. Oh, that's it. Okay. Um, it's getting a little confusing. So, like I said, I don't know what this is, but your projects that I can see are down here. Maybe they should be up here. Maybe have some explanation on what exactly this is. But okay. Anyone have any thoughts on? Let's see. Can we add things we did in Excel into a portfolio and how? Easy peasy. So here's the thing. A portfolio. Let me see. Let me go to Rachel's. No. All right, so this is one of my students. So, all right, so this is something that Rachel did in Excel. So again, it's Excel plus PowerPoint, right? Created the visual in Excel, and then added the title and stuff in PowerPoint. But very simple, like you said, this is something that can go on a thing. Okay, so this is a project. This is one of the first projects. So this is something that is just, a collection of charts for a project. So this was done in Excel. So stuff like this you can do, right? And if it was like, you can have like a little write-up on like each chart. But this is something that you can do. Just make sure the visuals or the charts, like the storytelling is A1. So make sure the colors are A1. Make sure you got like a nice, like, even like action title, stuff like that. But these are kind of ways you can incorporate or add Excel. This was also done in Excel. Yeah, this was also done in Excel. So there are different ways. Like, everything doesn't have to be necessarily be a dashboard. So you can add like individual charts that you make in a project, but I would just make sure, again, the data storytelling is just A1. So like here. Okay, and then you can add like little explanations and whatnot. So like here, there's like little explanations here. So stuff like that you can do. All right, we got about 15 minutes left. Let's see what else we can do. What else we got cooking in the oven? Okay. All right. First off, I really like the photo. Nice photo. The only thing is you could also go into Canva. You can remove the background and just make the background like one color. Because I don't know, the multicolor thing is a little distraction to me. So that's something that I did for a couple of my students. So like, for example, for Rachel, I took her photo and remove the background, then I added this gradient in Canva, and you just see how like nice it looks. Same thing with Dylan. So you just see the difference. With that, just removing the background and just make something like a gradient or something like that. You can do that in Canva, and I suggest doing that, or even just like a plain white like background. So I would. Oh crap! I'm not lost. Where are we at? Crap, lost it. Okay, yeah, I would do that. So even if you wanted, I would have like one color instead of like two colors in the background. So again, like before, like yeah, this is, you got some charts here, and it's like a laptop. You know, if you look up stock images and put up data analytics, this is probably something that comes up. But again, let's leave these generic backgrounds in 2025. Get banners that amplify your brand. So same thing, simple name, skills, you can say location, whatever it is, but let's go away from these generic backgrounds. Okay, AI driven data analyst. This is nice. Okay. Python, SQL, Power BI, AI ML expert. Okay. Listen, that's AI ML expert. That's something. Okay. If you're claiming to be an AI ML expert, that's okay. Then you that's up there. Okay, delivering data-driven financial insights and risk analysis, open to remote. So I like this. This is actually really good. Other than I don't know if you're overselling yourself here, but this is actually really good. I like this. I like the positioning. You got this. You got the tools here. This is really good. So far so good. You got to about recent grad. Okay, so if you graduated last year and you're talking, you just told me you're an AI ML expert, right? So we should be leading with experience, not recent graduate. And this was last year, so you need to remove this. It's not like you just graduated. Recent grad means you just graduated last month, right? I just graduated from XYZ. You graduated last year, so stop leading with that. Skilled in blah blah, chatbots, data dashboards. This kind of is giving like just listing stuff instead of a elevator pitch, right? Your elevator pitch is like, hey, I got a job. I just met you or something like that, or I had an opportunity. How are you going to kind of sell yourself in like 10, 20 seconds or something like that? And this is just giving listing, keywords. Like I just see Flask, NLP, data analytics, chatbots, machine learning. It's just listing stuff. I'm glad that you have activity. Nice, you have activity, so you're a real person. Experience. Again, at bare minimum, just paste whatever you have in your resumes. So listen, you told me you were this AI ML expert, and I'm not seeing expert. So other than that, it looks like, okay, you're someone who, recent grad from last year, and you need to build some experience. Interesting thing, the video I posted today on YouTube, I share how everyone can gain experience without even getting hired. So definitely take that up, take a look. But like I said, you're selling yourself pretty high up here. And let's see. You haven't posted in 2 months. I would keep posting. Like I would definitely like to see like, some projects or more recent like kind of posting that to back up these claims of being this expert. Well, other than that, I mean, this is actually pretty decent. So again, this needs to be shaped up. Definitely a different banner there. One thing, I gotta let's see, I gotta one of my students is actually in school. And so he's in. So this is Ryan. So again, very simple. He made this in Canva. Simple name, right? Target role, and just logos of stuff, and just very simple. But so he's in school, right? And he started a Substack, and he's been posting. He's really into like the ML AI stuff too, and he posts some really good Substack stuff that really showcases like his knowledge there and what he's learning. So that's the type of stuff that I definitely think like every student can do this. Every student or recent grad, if you want to kind of like showcase like the things that you're learning and your knowledge, I would definitely highly recommend like creating a Substack or like some sort of blog that something like this. It's super well done here. So like Ryan does like a really good job of you know of that stuff like that. So okay. All right, so we got about 8 minutes left. Let me see if there's any questions. I don't see any other questions there. Let's see. Probably got time for one more. Okay. All right, Amber. We gotta talk. We gotta talk. No photo. Where's the photo? Where's the photo? All right. That's strike number one. Now, I will say that there are some, I know there are some, like, sometimes we have privacy settings in place because we're not connected. Sometimes we have privacy settings in place and we don't even realize it, where, only like our first degree connections can see our profile photos. So if it's something like that, I highly recommend switching that off so that everyone can see your photo. But because most likely, recruiters, when they're looking, they're not going to be connected with you. Again, if you want your resume and stuff, if you want yours to be reviewed, next week in the coming weeks, it's actually pinned. The link is pinned on YouTube, and the link is in the LinkedIn to get yours reviewed. But again, there's a lot of people, so it's not like I'm gonna get to it. But again, make sure that the privacy settings are set up so that everyone can see your profile photo, not just your first degree connections, because we gotta fix this. All right, two. Banner, again, just like every time else, it needs to amplify the brand. This does not, right? It just doesn't. So, all right, business analyst, leveraging multifamily expertise in data analysis and process improvement. I like this. The only other thing I would add is just, adding those like, SQL, Python, etc., just for like optimization purposes. But I like this. This is a really nice positioning statement. So this is perfect. Role and positioning statement. So this is great. All right. Leveraging 7 years of experience. This is great. Nice. Analytical. This is perfect, right? You lead with experience. This is a good example of how career changers should be writing their about section. Lead with experience. Market surveys. Nice. Extensive, hands-on property man. This is nice. Let's see. Identifying opportunities of improvement through rigorous analysis. This is good. I really like this about me section. This is really nice. Okay. You have activity this is good. You have activity here. Okay. So every experience should have like bullet points. Don't just like have it without anything there. So again, at minimum, just paste whatever is on your resume in here, but don't leave it bare. Just don't leave it bare. All right. Okay, so you said business analyst and you're transitioning. So the skills, the first things I'm seeing is conflict management and CRM. So I should be seeing, data analysis stuff, right? Tableau, SQL, these are the first thing. And now you only see two, as preview. And so you definitely want to have like the top two, like your data analysis skills, and you want to utilize like the most. So 20 Okay, yeah, you definitely got to get in here and add in data analysis skills. So you have 24, and I think at least 100 you can have. So there's definitely way more you can add. So I would fix this ASAP. So yeah, it says, like I said, it clearly says like you want to transition into like a business analyst role with market analysis, but definitely need to do work on translating that past experience into like focusing on analysis stuff. Um, so yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So that looks like that is about all the time we got for that. Um, Again, I think what would be really nice. I made a video today on why you should not, basically why you should not be positioning yourself as entry level. So definitely check it out. I feel like it would be really good for folks here. Multiple people here, it would be really good for. Let's see. I'm gonna post it on LinkedIn, and I'm gonna post it. Oh no, I posted it on. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that's about almost time. Does anybody have like, I don't know, last minute questions on anything? We will be back next week for round 3. Okay, we'll be back next week for round 3. I hope, again, if even if you were not chosen, or your profile was not analyzed, you definitely, everyone definitely had, there's something to learn from pretty much everything. Okay, all right, so I guess that is it. Any direct questions about LinkedIn and portfolios that we talked about, or nothing? If not, then I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Same time, same place. All right. So I hope you guys do good. And again, if anyone's back next week, okay, and I reviewed your portfolio and I reviewed your stuff this week, I want to see some updates. I want to see some updates. I want to see some implementation, some updates. Okay. All right. So looking forward to that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week, and definitely keep showing love to the YouTube stuff. I normally answer all the comments, but otherwise, I'll see y'all next week.